Have you ever stopped to think why some people live with energy, vitality, and well-being, while others seem to constantly struggle with illness, fatigue, and health problems? The difference isn't luck, genetics, or external circumstances. The difference lies in mindset. It's in how these individuals approach their own health. Stephen Covey teaches us that there are two ways to live: as a victim of circumstances, or as the protagonist of your own life. This applies directly to our health. Most people live in what I call the health victim paradigm. They believe their health is the result of external factors: genetics, work, stress, lack of time, age, or the environment they live in. These people often say things like, "I don't have time to exercise. It's genetic. My whole family has diabetes. Work stresses me out too much. I can't afford to eat well," or "After 40, the body just isn't the same." Notice the pattern? All these statements place the responsibility for health on external factors outside of the person's control. But there's another way to live: the health protagonist paradigm. People with this mindset understand that while they can't control every circumstance, they have full control over their responses to those circumstances. They take complete responsibility for their physical and mental well-being. Today, you'll discover how to make this mental and practical transformation. How to move from the role of victim to taking full control of your health by applying Stephen Covey's timeless principles to your well-being. Because when you realize that your health is your responsibility, everything changes. You stop waiting for miraculous solutions and start creating your own. You stop looking for someone to blame and start seeking opportunities for improvement. The first of Stephen Covey's habits is be proactive, and it's the foundation of all health transformation. Being proactive means recognizing that you have the freedom to choose your response to any situation. In health, this means understanding that, regardless of your current circumstances, you always have the power to choose how you'll react and what actions you'll take. Covey introduces two fundamental concepts: the circle of concern and the circle of influence. The circle of concern includes everything we worry about but have no direct control over. In health, this would be your genetics, your age, air pollution, the country's healthcare system, or the processed foods available in the market. Reactive people focus their energy on the circle of concern. They complain about genetics, lament their age, criticize the healthcare system, and blame the food industry. And while they do this, their circle of influence, the things they can actually control, shrinks because all their energy is wasted on complaints. The circle of influence, on the other hand, includes everything you have direct control over. In health, this means what you eat, when you eat, how much you exercise, what type of exercise you do, how many hours you sleep, how you manage stress, what thoughts you nurture, what daily habits you practice, and which healthcare professionals you consult. Proactive people focus all their energy on the circle of influence. Instead of complaining about genetics, they research how to optimize their diet to counter genetic predispositions. Instead of lamenting their age, they study how people of the same age maintain vitality. Instead of criticizing the healthcare system, they become protagonists of their own prevention. The fascinating thing is that when you consistently focus on your circle of influence in health, something magical happens. It starts to expand. You develop more energy, which allows you to exercise more. You improve your diet, which gives you more mental clarity to make better decisions. You optimize your sleep, which improves your mood and relationships. Proactivity in health starts with a change in language. Instead of saying, "I don't have time to exercise," a proactive person says, "Exercising isn't my current priority, but I can reassess my priorities." Instead of saying, "I can't sleep well because of stress," they say, "I need to develop more effective strategies to manage stress before bed." This shift in language may seem subtle, but it represents a mental revolution. It moves you from the role of victim to the role of protagonist. And protagonists don't wait for things to get better on their own. They make things better. Stephen Covey always emphasized that lasting change starts from the inside out. In health, this means that before transforming your body, you need to transform your mind. Your physical health is a direct reflection of your mental health and your mindset toward well-being. Mental responsibility in health begins with recognizing that your thoughts shape your physical reality. When you constantly think, "I always get sick in the winter," your body prepares to get sick. When you repeat, "I don't have the willpower to diet," you program your mind to fail before you even start. Proactive people in health develop what I call a physical abundance mindset. They see their body not as something inevitably deteriorating, but as an incredible system capable of regeneration, adaptation, and continuous improvement. They view health challenges as opportunities for growth, not permanent limitations. A powerful technique for developing mental responsibility is the practice of a personal health mission statement. Just as Covey suggests creating a life mission, you should create a clear statement of what it means to be a healthy person. For example, "I am a person who honors my body as the temple of my soul. I choose foods that nourish, movement that strengthens, and thoughts that heal." Another essential tool is what I call the proactive pause. Before making any health-related decision, what to eat, whether to exercise, how to respond to stress, you take a conscious pause and ask yourself, what choice would a truly healthy person make in this situation? This simple question activates your proactivity and connects you with your identity as a healthy person. Mental responsibility also includes managing your emotions proactively. Instead of using food to cope with anxiety, you develop healthy strategies like conscious breathing, meditation, or exercise. Instead of letting stress dominate you, you create systems to process it constructively. Covey teaches us about the importance of renewal in 4 dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Proactive people in health understand that they cannot neglect any of these areas. They dedicate daily time to renew each dimension. They exercise their body, study and learn new things, cultivate healthy relationships, and connect with purposes greater than themselves. A powerful practice is to start each day with a proactive health visualization. For 5 minutes, you visualize the healthiest version of yourself, how you feel, how you move, how you respond to challenges, and what choices you make. This practice programs your subconscious mind to seek opportunities to make that vision a reality. Remember, your mind is the control center of your health. When you take full responsibility for your thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns related to health, you create a solid foundation for lasting physical transformation. Now that we've established the mental foundation of health proactivity, it's time to translate this mindset into concrete actions and practical systems. Stephen Covey always emphasized that principles without practices are just philosophy. In health, this means creating habits and routines that materialize your personal responsibility for well-being. Physical responsibility manifests in 3 fundamental pillars: conscious nutrition, intentional movement, and strategic recovery. Each of these pillars requires a proactive approach where you become the architect of your choices, not a victim of circumstances. In the pillar of conscious nutrition, being proactive means planning your meals as you would important meetings. Reactive people eat whatever is available when they're hungry, driven by momentary impulses. Proactive people create nutritional systems. They dedicate time to plan weekly menus, prepare healthy ingredients, and establish regular meal times. They understand that every bite is a choice that either builds or harms their health. A powerful strategy is what I call the proactive 80-20 rule. Instead of aiming for perfect nutrition that generate anxiety and failure, you commit to making conscious, healthy choices 80% of the time, allowing flexibility for the other 20%. But the key is that even the 20% is a conscious choice, not an unconscious slip. In the pillar of intentional movement, proactivity means treating exercise not as punishment for what you ate, but as an investment in who you want to become. Proactive people don't wait for motivation to exercise. They create systems that make movement inevitable. This could mean leaving running shoes by the bedroom door, scheduling workouts as non-negotiable appointments, or finding physical activities that genuinely bring joy. The key is to start small and be consistent. Covey teaches us that small, consistent wins create momentum for big transformations. It's better to do 10 minutes of exercise every day than 2 hours once a week. Consistency builds identity. You become someone who exercises, not someone who occasionally works out. In the pillar of strategic recovery, proactivity manifests in the quality of sleep and stress management. Reactive people treat sleep as wasted time. Proactive people treat sleep as the most important moment for regeneration and bodily optimization. They create nighttime rituals, optimize their bedroom environment, and protect their sleep hours as fiercely as they protect work hours. For stress management, the proactive approach involves identifying stress triggers and creating preventive systems. Instead of only reacting when stress explodes, you develop daily practices like conscious breathing, moments of gratitude, or strategic breaks during the day. A practical tool is creating what I call a proactive health scorecard. Daily, you rate your performance in the 3 pillars: nutrition, movement, and recovery in a scale of 1 to 10. This isn't for judgment, but for awareness. Proactive people measure what they want to improve. Remember, every small proactive action in health is a deposit in your well-being bank account. Over time, these deposits accumulate and generate the compound interest of a truly healthy and vibrant life. Stephen Covey always advocated that true effectiveness comes from the harmonious integration of all areas of life. In health, this means creating synergy between your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Proactive people in health understand that these aspects are not separate but deeply interconnected. Health synergy happens when you realize that caring for your body strengthens your mind, that nurturing your mind balances your emotions, and that balancing your emotions connects you to greater purposes. It's a virtuous cycle where each element enhances the others. For example, when you exercise regularly, you're not just strengthening muscles. You're releasing endorphins that improve your mood, increasing your mental focus, and building discipline that transfers to other areas of life. When you meditate or practice mindfulness, you're not just relaxing your mind. You're reducing stress hormones that affect your immune system and improving your sleep quality. The concept of weekly health planning is essential for this integration. Just as Covey suggests planning your week based on roles and goals, you should plan your week to intentionally include activities that nurture each dimension of your health. This doesn't mean creating a rigid schedule, but ensuring that every aspect of your well-being gets time and attention. A powerful practice is establishing healthy transition rituals. These are specific moments in the day when you consciously shift from one activity to another, using that transition to strengthen your health. For example, taking 3 deep breaths before each meal, or going for a 5-minute walk after long periods of mental work. Integration also involves aligning your health habits with your deepest values. If you value family, you can include physical activities that involve your loved ones. If you value personal growth, you can listen to audiobooks during workouts. If you value contribution, you can find ways for your health journey to inspire and help others. Another crucial aspect is developing what I call proactive flexibility. Real life has surprises, trips, and high-stress periods. Proactive people in health create plans A, B, and C. They have routines for normal days, adaptations for busy days, and minimal strategies for crisis days. This flexibility prevents the destructive perfectionism that leads many to abandon their healthcare entirely when they can't maintain the ideal routine. True integration also means seeing your health as part of your greater life mission. When you understand that taking care of yourself enables you to serve others better, contribute more significantly to the world, and live your values more fully, self-care stops being narcissism and becomes a moral responsibility. Remember, you're not seeking perfection, you're seeking integration. You're creating a lifestyle where caring for your health is no longer an additional task on your list, but the foundation that supports everything you want to be and do in the world. We've reached the point of transformation. You now have the tools and understanding needed to take full responsibility for your health. But knowledge without action is just wasted potential. Stephen Covey reminds us that to know and not to do is really not to know. The journey of health proactivity begins with a fundamental decision. Are you willing to stop being a victim of circumstances and become the protagonist of your well-being? This isn't a decision you make once, but a choice you renew daily, with every meal, every opportunity for movement, every moment of stress. Your first practical step is to create your Health Independence Declaration. Write, in your own words, your commitment to taking full responsibility for your physical and mental well-being. Include specifically what you'll stop doing. Stop blaming others. Stop waiting for magical solutions. Stop postponing essential care. And clearly state what you'll start doing, being proactive in food choices, creating movement systems, prioritizing recovery. Your second step is to identify one specific area of your health where you can immediately apply the circle of influence. Maybe it's setting a fixed bedtime, preparing healthy snacks on Sunday for the week, or taking a 10-minute walk after lunch. Choose something small but meaningful and start today. Remember, you have the power to choose your response to any health situation. You have enough knowledge to start. You have more resources than you think. What you don't have is infinite time to postpone this decision. Your health is your most precious asset and your most important responsibility. When you truly take care of yourself, you become better able to care for those around you. When you model health proactivity, you inspire others to do the same. The question isn't whether you can transform your health. The question is, will you choose to do it? The time is now. Your healthy, vibrant life is waiting for you.